Ladies and gentlemen, the icy heights of Gulmarg that were till yesterday going gaga over being center staged in the world of international fashion are today engulfed in fire and fury. The reason? Well, the clerics and the politicians have woken up to these viral pictures on your screens and are calling it cultural invasion. They say the ski resort collection showcased by the designer duo, Shivin and Naresh, is not fashion but filth. They say it's obscene, that it is a nude show, not a fashion show. They say local and religious sensibilities have been hurt, especially since the month of Ramadan is underway. Such was the cleric-driven Ramzan layered chorus that it resonated in the assembly as well. The chief minister had to step in and clarify that his government had nothing to do with it.
ऐसी हरकत नाजेबा है, ये नाकाबिल कबूल है, चाहे इस महीने में हो या अगले 11 महीनों में किसी भी वक्त हो। कश्मीर इन चीज़ों का मुतहम्मिल नहीं हो सकता है, ये हमारी सकाफत के खिलाफ है। अब जिन लोगों ने ये हरकतें की उनके खिलाफ तो कार्रवाई होगी, बल्कि लीगल एक्शन भी हम उस पर गौर कर रहे हैं कि जो होटलियर है उसको बाज़ाब्ता तौर पे समन में इजरा करवाऊंगा, अपने ऑफिस से उसको बुलाऊंगा। दीज एक्ट्स आर डिप्लोरेबल एंड डेरोगेटरी एंड डिस्गस्टिंग। फिर से एक बार, हम कल्चरल इन्वेजन यहाँ नहीं चाहते हैं और न इसकी इजाज़त देंगे।
उस फैशन शो में कुछ ऐसी बातें सामने आई, कुछ ऐसा वहाँ पे उसमें हिस्सा लिया गया जिससे कि लोगों के जज्बात को ठेस पहुंची और अपने आप में लोग गलत नहीं थे। जाहिर सी बात है कि जिन लोगों ने उस फैशन शो को ऑर्गेनाइज किया था उन्होंने अपने अकल का इस्तेमाल नहीं किया। उन्होंने लोगों के जज्बात के बारे में नहीं सोचा। उन्होंने इस बारे में नहीं सोचा कि वो कहां पे कर रहे हैं और किस वक्त में कर रहे हैं। कुछ लोगों ने ये कहा कि रमजान के पाक महीने में ये नहीं होना चाहिए था। मैं तो ये मान के चलता हूं कि जो मैंने देखा वहां पे वो तो रमजान छोड़िए, साल के किसी भी दिन वो नहीं होना चाहिए था। हुकूमत की तरफ से इसमें कोई रोल नहीं था। ये प्राइवेट पार्टी थी, उन्होंने प्राइवेटली इस फंक्शन का ऑर्गेनाइजेशन किया। इंतजामिया को वहां कहा गया है कि अगर कहीं पे भी इसमें कानून के खिलाफ कोई बात हुई हो, अपनी तहकीकात मुकम्मल करके अगर जरूरत पड़े तो मामला पुलिस के हवाले किया जाए।
Particularly when the ongoing holy month is in process, they should have rather refrained. It was taken, this issue was taken by Mirwais, Maulana Omar, and Honorable Chief Minister has rightly answered that the anger on this is understandable.
प्राइवेट पार्टी और वो प्राइवेट पार्टी ज़रूर उनसे पूछ के गई होगी, क्योंकि जिस होटल में प्रोग्राम हुआ वो होटल उमर अब्दुल्ला साहब के नज़दीकी रिश्तेदारों का है। ऐसा माने तो उमर अब्दुल्ला साहब का ये होटल मानेंगे, इतने क्लोज रिलेटिव्स हैं। और दूसरा, जो शॉर्ट टर्म शराब की लाइसेंस दी गई है, एक्साइज डिपार्टमेंट ने दी है, वो भी उमर अब्दुल्ला साहब का ही डिपार्टमेंट है। मैं ऐसा मानता हूँ और मैं बड़े वसूख से बात कहता हूँ, उमर अब्दुल्ला साहब की मर्जी के बगैर नहीं होगा।
Ladies and gentlemen, the designers in question, Shivin and Naresh, are known world over for their holiday wear. They were celebrating their label's 15th anniversary by taking their fashion where no mainstream fashion designer has ever dared to venture, Kashmir. Have you heard of a mainstream designer showcasing their work in Kashmir? No. The duo decided where better to unveil their ski resort collection than in Gulmarg. It was, of course, an opportunity to showcase their clothes. But it was also an opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, for Gulmarg to be center staged. But lo and behold, that center staging was soon engulfed with such fire that the designers had to actually apologize. They said their intention was to celebrate creativity, not hurt people's religious sentiments. Ladies and gentlemen, Kashmir is emerging from the shadows of terrorism after 3 decades. It was a time when becoming a terrorist and pelting stones was in vogue. It was a time when even cinema halls were shuttered into silence. Kashmir's #1 industry, tourism, was down in the dumps and unemployment rates were sky high. Those dark clouds, ladies and gentlemen, have now passed. Kashmir has a new government and a new chief minister. Is the Union Territory then sabotaging its mainstreaming with a narrow-minded outrage over a fashion show? Or do the clerics have a point when they point to some semi-clad models and equate it with cultural invasion? That debate starts now. My guest this evening, Aris Patania, is an MLA from Jammu and Kashmir from the BJP joining us on the broadcast. Taslima Akhtar is a Kashmiri activist with us on the broadcast. Abid Wani is a spokesperson of the Jammu and Kashmir National Conference. Thank you very much. All of you, of course, for obvious reasons, Abid Wani, I'm going to start with you. Dikkat kya hai? Problem kya hai? What was the problem with this fashion show? I would have thought that the government of Jammu Kashmir would be very happy with what happened in Gulmarg. You have, two designers who are known all over the world for their resort wear, choosing Gulmarg to unveil their ski resort collection. They come here, they make a video, it goes viral. How is that a bad thing? It's a good thing for Kashmir and its tourism.
Well, first of all, I will, respectfully disagree with the premise of the debate. You started with some notion. It's not like that. It's not about religion. It's not about conservatism. It's about basic sense of moral decency and cultural values. We are deeply rooted society with our cultural values. That came crossroads with such an event. It was not an event for a promotion of tourism. It was not an event that was decided by the government, or any prerequisites were, decided by the government. It was an event in very isolation. Two designers were celebrating 15 years of their work. And I think it was very obscene of them to, showcase such event in a holy month of Ramzan, which just raises the bar of moral decency. That's all I have to say about it. It's not about conservatism prevailing in J&K. It's about basic moral and cultural values.
No, I don't understand this. First you say it's not about religion, and then you bring Ramadan right in. My point is this. If you look at cinema, Suniye, Abid Wani ji, of course there are other people who will have their own arguments, but my point is this. If you look at cinema, and cinema halls are now functional in Jammu and Kashmir, my point is if you go and look at in the cinemas, the heroines in certain song sequences are as scantily clad. फिर आप बोलेंगे अब आप सिनेमा को भी बैन कर दीजिए. Then will come Netflix, which is way too risque, as it were, even for my sensibilities. फिर आप कहेंगे नहीं, Netflix को भी बैन कर दीजिए.
Well, it's not about, yeah.
I mean, go ahead.
Yeah, I told you in the premise of the debate, it's not about religion at all. I just said the month of Ramzan just raises the bar for having a moral decency, some modicum amount of decency or responsibility that the event managers should have carried with them. Now that's gone past. We have a debate around it, and it's all about our culture values that somehow have been disrespected. We are a deeply enrooted, society with our culture, so that needs to be taken care of. And I can vouch for the liberal orientation of our people. Just because we are opposing a move that seems very obnoxious to us with regard to the this vague analogy and vague synchronization of calling civilized society as synonymous to obscenity. We don't agree with that notion. So that's all we can say about it.
Okay, ठीक है. Let's get in the other point of view and let's get it from Kashmir. Taslima Akhtar, you've seen the pictures. Is this cultural invasion? I mean, I for one don't think that our culture is so weak that it can be invaded by a fashion show. But anyhow, you are a Kashmiri as well. The clerics are outraged. It seems the politicians are outraged as well. What about people like you?
मैं यहाँ पर ये चीज ऐड ऑन करना चाहूंगी कि बड़ा चढ़ा के इसको क्यों सभी लोग वहां पर कल्चर के साथ जोड़ने लगे जबकि हमारा कल्चर डिफरेंट है, रिलीजियस के साथ जोड़ने लगे जबकि फैशन शो कोई मैच ही हमारे रिलीजियस के साथ खाता नहीं है। और ये अगर आए, इनका अपना प्राइवेट क्या कंपनी थी, आए अपना शो करने के लिए, इस पर हमें ध्यान ही नहीं देना, हमें अपने रोजों पर ध्यान देना, अपनी इबादत पर ध्यान देना है। शूट करके 1 डे का इनका शूट था, शूट किया तो चले जाएंगे। मुझे नहीं लगता है अब हमें इसमें ज्यादा इंटरफेयर करने की जरूरत है, इस चीज पर नहीं आए क्यों, बैठे क्यों, इन्होंने अपना शो कर दिया और चले गए। इनको अपनी कंपनी को चलाने के लिए जिसको इनकी ड्रेसिंग पसंद होगी खरीदना, ये किसी को नहीं घर में लगा के, ये कोई बजट नहीं पास हो रही है पार्लियामेंट में कि नहीं ये यहाँ पर ये फैशन शो कश्मीर गुलमर्ग में हुआ तो बस ये ड्रेसिंग आपको पहननी है। इतना इन्होंने बड़ा चढ़ा के एहतजाज इस पर किया है। जब कश्मीरियों को इकट्ठा ऐसी पार्टियों को होना चाहिए था तब नहीं हुई, जिस चीज के लिए जिन मुद्दों पर उनको बात करनी चाहिए थी उन मुद्दों पर क्यों नहीं बात हो रही है। आज इनको क्यों इस्लाम याद आया, आज इनको माह रमजान क्यों याद आया? क्या माह रमजान ये देखते कि जो बेवा वहां पर रो रही है, अपना रोना रोई, उनके घरों में जाते पूछने के लिए उनको खाने की एक निवाला है या नहीं? जिन मुद्दों पर बात करने उन मुद्दों पर क्यों नहीं बात करते हैं? हमें इसकी तरफ जाना ही नहीं चाहिए। फैशन शो है, इनको अपनी ये कंपनी कैसे चली, कहीं पर कश्मीर ना सही किसी और जगह पर भी ये करेगी, फिर हर जगह पर मुस्लिम बैन लगाएंगे इस चीज पर। मेरे ख्याल से इस चीज पर हमें ज्यादा ध्यान देना ही नहीं चाहिए। कंट्रोवर्सी किसी भी सूरत में नहीं होनी चाहिए। क्या ये भड़काना चाहते हैं लोगों को? क्या ये यूथ को रेडिकलाइजेशन की तरफ खींचना चाहते हैं ताकि 90 का दौर फिर आए? किसी की पर्सनल, जिनके किसी भी
एडवोकेट अहमद अयाज,
किसी भी बेसिक राइट से हमें छेड़ने की कोई हक नहीं है। अगर इनको हम किसी को रोजगार दे नहीं सकते, बट छीनने का भी कोई अधिकार नहीं है।
Advocate Ahmad Ayaz, how's this cultural invasion? How's a fashion show where there were some models who were semi-clad? How's this a cultural invasion? Which, you tell me, we are talking about, for a long while, everyone has been talking about the mainstreaming of Kashmir. Point is, even today, if someone has to travel to Kashmir, and I, by the way, encourage people to go to Kashmir because it's honestly the most beautiful part of this country, apart from Uttarakhand, where I come from. The first question I'm still asked is it safe? Now, is it safe ka question or daira todkar? There are these fashion designers who are known, by the way, across the world, who choose Gulmarg, who choose to celebrate 15 years of their label in Gulmarg, unveiling a resort collection. How is that against Kashmiri culture? Which fashion designer, after seeing this controversy, will come to Kashmir? They'll say, "Phir kuch bakheda shuru ho jayega, chhod hi do."
It is unfortunate that it has happened in Kashmir. That's why you perhaps call it that Kashmir is a voice like. I'm sure had it happened in Delhi, there also people would have objected to it, because it is not a question of cultural invasion. It's a question of Islam, or it's a question of advancement or mainstreaming. It is a question of modesty and the vulgarity, what has been witnessed there at Gulmarg. Nobody is against the fashion show. Nobody is against any such activity where people would like to enjoy the beauty of the Kashmir. There are, people coming across the world for centuries together. Why has this question being raised today? It was not raised yesterday, the day before. People keep on coming. It is not alone a question of, having connected it with the Islam or the Ramzan. It is, Islam...
Aris Pathania, would you want to come in here? I'm afraid we've lost that line.
No, wait a bit.
Okay,
I would like to add. See, you need to respect the local religion, local sentiments. See, in Gujarat, in Islam, alcohol is banned. It is not banned in Kashmir, Jammu and Kashmir. It is banned in what we call it, Gujarat. So in UP, I think there's a restriction on using, what we call it, a non-veg also. I mean, though these are not connected directly with the religion.
Ayaz, what is the point you are making?
I am trying to make, it is not that you are making it Islam and the Kashmir. I mean, anywhere immorality happening will be objected. It can happen anywhere. You can't expect people to come on streets and drink in even Delhi also. So do you think that you will allow people coming on streets and taking alcohol in open? No, I don't think. Because that goes against the immorality. So that's what has happened in Kashmir. So it can't be related to any other thing. So don't please make it Kashmir versus anything other or Islam versus this thing. It is a purely question of immorality. Okay.
Okay, I get your point. You said that a fashion show like this would not be welcome in even in places like Delhi and Bombay. Let me assure you that every year fashion shows like this are held in Delhi and Bombay. And no, they are held in Delhi and Bombay every year, something called the Fashion Week, and it is perfectly acceptable. But Haris Patania, the Chief Minister, made a point, and I think we need to listen to what the Chief Minister is also saying. Ruk jaiye, sir.
No, you are not showing the picture. You are not showing the picture. No, I will show you something different, which I am sure you are not showing it. I am showing you what is with me. That is different.
No, sir.
That is different.
I know the pictures you are talking. Bhai, dikha do. Bhai, dikha dijiye. Okay, let's show the pictures that most of Kashmir seems to have found very offensive. Let's put out those visuals.
If it is a fashion show,
sir, I understand the pictures you are talking about.
What fashion you are going to show where there is nothing worn? What is the fashion here? You see, if you are trying to project something like clothing, there is no clothes worn. So what are you going to show about it? I mean, these are some things where I think anybody can object.
Patania.
First of all,
Aris Patania, the argument coming in is that, hi, good evening, Mr. Patania, good to have you on the show. The argument coming is that these people who came, the designer duo, as the Chief Minister said, इन्होंने अपना दिमाग नहीं इस्तेमाल किया. एक तो रमजान का महीना, ऊपर से कश्मीर, and you come up with a fashion show where some models, not all, but some models are scantily clad. माहौल तो देखो, you have to read a room. Kashmir is not ready for this. Maybe if a fashion show like this was held in Banaras, people in Banaras would have found it equally objectionable.
Shreya, that's not the case. With due respect to all the sensibilities and all the local nuances and the so-called interpretation of the definition of Kashmiriyat and the definition of what should be done and what should not be done in the holy month of Ramzan, don't want to hurt it. But my respectful submission means there's a difference between hurting the local cultural sensibilities and projecting and showcasing a work of an art. It's a purely commercial event. It seeks to put the Kashmir and virtually Gulmarg on the center stage. Earlier, the Kashmir was a conflict zone. Nobody dared to come to Kashmir. Kashmir earlier had been a shooting capital of not only of India but of the world and entirely of the world. And you rightly said, should there be a ban on Netflix also in the month of Ramzan? Should there be a ban on other such events also? So Mr. Omar Abdullah, the way he has tried to create hay while the sun shines, let me submit, he is the tourism minister. He is the excise minister also, which sanctions all these licenses for selling and serving of liquor. If he doesn't know what is happening, then the thing is also grave. And if he knows, he puts his head under the sand and reacts the fourth day. The event was held on 7th. Directly it was telecast. And 3 days thereafter, if he reacts, then again, this is unfortunate. His own relative, his own very close friend organizes this event. And now he comes out of the closet. He wants to run with hares and hunt with hounds also. This is again a really pathetic show. So my submission that this is purely a show, a brand of regressive politics. This is a regressive mindset also. The idea of Kashmir is tolerance, coexistence, openness, imbibing all cultures, all systems, all facets also. So my submission to all my friends on board, sir, Kashmirian and particularly Islam also, they are not so weak that they will be defiled or they will be weakened by such events happening in the month of Holy Ramadan. Means what I come to understand.
I don't have time.
Your inner consciousness, inner power.
I'll give Abid Wani the last word.
No, should I respond to Mr. Patania?
Can I just give Abid Wani the last word on this? Well, let me give Abid Wani the last word. Abid Wani, the point is, I heard one of the clerics in a soundbite given to Times Network say this is cultural invasion. ये सारी cultural invasion वाली बातें, when stone pelting was in fashion in Kashmir, तब तो कभी नहीं आती थी. एक fashion show से cultural invasion हो गया. My point is, will any designer in their right minds now look at Kashmir as a venue and say, चलो वहाँ चल के करते हैं एक fashion show? You have scared them away.
I think, you need to put the debate in the right perspective. Saying that designers won't come, designers have been coming here. The only thing we object about is the obscenity. And that very well goes, comes crossroads with our culture. Again reiterate the responsibility the designers needed to carry with them when they were, making a show of art or celebrating their anniversary, whatever it was, because there's nothing clear about the show. The thing is that why we call it a cultural invasion, because, we haven't seen, these shows before. And we have seen shows from various designers where a decent level of morality was intact. But now we see an open-air obscenity, so that doesn't go well with our culture. And we don't endorse, we in J&K don't endorse, especially in Kashmir, don't endorse such a view that obscenity is synonymous to being civilized.
Okay, we'll leave it there for the moment. Again, obscenity and vulgarity is also relative. It may be obscene and vulgar for you, but not for many other people.
Yes, it
Abid
can
Wani,
be.
we'll leave it there for the moment. Thank you very much. Ahmad Ayaz, thank you very much for joining us. Taslima Akhtar, thank you very much. And Aris Patania, thank you very much for joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, with that, it's a wrap from me. Thank you for watching. Shreya Dhoundial is up next with all the day's top stories at the top of 9. Do stay with us.